at philsgang.com. When making wise investment decisions, Phil Grandy has some sound reasons you should join Phil's gang.
When I started this, they asked me, okay, can you explain to people why they should join the gang? Gee, I thought about that. And I guess to make money. But more than that, to get good direction on which way the economy's really going. We get so much crap, so many lies, how great the economy is and how great the tech business is, and when it's not. The problem is we have too many people in Washington and in this industry that just don't tell the truth. The truth is everything. And here at Phil's Gang, we stick with the facts. We tell the truth. We make sure our members, are getting the best information, and our listeners, like you. We make that information available to you and make it simple and understandable.
Good investing means understanding how the stock market works. Join today at philsgang.com.
I signed up, and I've learned an incredible amount from Phil and Steve. The staff at Phil's Gang gives platinum-level service and stock recommendations. It's as simple as that. At the end of a month or so, I've always been in the black. Phil's Gang is a class act. I'm happy to be a member.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. There's a lot of noise out there in the financial world. Bank failures, interest rates, bonds versus stocks. It's a lot. That's why it's important to find a voice of reason that can guide you through these volatile times. Phil Grandy and philsgang.com is where you can find honest, helpful guidance to successful investing.
Get the knowledge and understand how the market really works.
And for a limited time, you can join Phil's Gang free for 10 days.
philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. I've been doing this business of trading over 55 years. God, they make it so complicated. It doesn't have to be. The best way to learn is to follow me, my actual investments. That's right. When I buy a stock, you follow me. Do exactly what I do. That's the best way to learn.
Check out the free 10-day trial. Learn more at philsgang.com.
Be my co-pilot at philsgang.com. Do what I do.
That's philsgang.com. With the philsgang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At philsgang.com, we recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG.
You're not alone. 80% of those in the stock market, just like you, lose money. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. Why do they lose? Because they don't know how to short stocks in down market. That will change once you use my patent Pro 2 color-coded chart. It works. The technology works. And it not only gives you an edge on the upside, but Pro 2 will put a smile on your face on the downside. That's right. Check it out. Free 10-day trial at philsgang.com.
Remember, when this market crashed in 2009, it should have never crashed because the chairperson of these two committees, their job was to protect consumers, protect our investments, and they're supposed to ensure that our investments are being monitored. Where were they in 2009 and 2008? They weren't anywhere because they don't do that. They take care of themselves. They protect themselves. They become richer. So you can't depend on these crooks in Congress. The stock market is a great place to be, but you just got to know this is a different market than your grandfather's market. So why don't you, for 30 days, join my gang, 877-600-GANG, try it for 30 days, $39.95. Follow me. I tell you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. All I ask you start making money, please remember St. Jude.
Don't wait. Join Phil's Gang today and make profits. Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. The stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money, money, money's coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money, 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 money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grande.
So we actually have a very strong economy that we think will support the equity market.
That's unbelievable. What is she, nuts? It's going to support the equity market. Really? You think so? When the government has an income of $4.9 trillion, but they spend, this was last year, 2022, they spent $6.2 trillion against an income of $4.9 trillion. Does that sound strong to you? Sounds nuts to me. That's insane. You and I paid for that deficit. So if you're a family of four, and let's say the wife's working part-time, husband full-time, they're bringing in $70,000, 10% of that income, that's before taking your taxes out, goes directly to the government. In other words, that's what it cost you. Okay, it came out of your pocket is what I'm trying to say. You know, that just went right out the door. Right out the door. I mean, this is crazy. So again, we have, we're experiencing this, large economic downturn. Everybody feels it. And they're trying to tell us, oh no, it's okay, everything's fine. We have historic corporate debt that's killing these companies right now. $23 trillion in historic corporate debt. These corporations can't pay it back. Remember, these corporations for 10 years were borrowing money at 1/10 of 1% or 2/10, maybe every once in a while 1%. But now they're paying 6 and 7%. They can't pay it back. They can't pay it back. They have to roll over the loans, more interest. It's just crazy. Crazy. And then we have the consequences of Bidenomics. My God, how could she say something like we got this great economy when we got the consequences of Bidenomics? Spending more money than tax revenue. And that means that we have the largest inflation ever when you do that. Because when you're spending more money than your tax revenue, you got to print money. You got to print money. It's a deficit. You got to pay for it. And so, I mean, it's a cycle that just keeps going on and on. The consequences are there. So we have the largest inflation ever because of that. Because again, we have to keep printing money, keep paying down these deficits. And that, then the inflation goes up again, and we have to raise rates again to try to get the inflation back down. We have the largest deficits, the largest net loss ever. Do you know our country has a net loss of $1.2 trillion? She's trying to tell us our economy's doing good. $1.2 trillion. If this was a regular business, we'd be bankrupt. We have, the United States government has a net worth, a loss. What are you, nuts? Of $20 trillion, but they don't care. They're just going to spend more money. They don't care about spending money. What do they care? We have the largest national debt ever, and our payments are $600 billion. They're going to be double that next year. And our household debt, strangling people, $17 trillion. Our manufacturing is at a 14-year low. No productivity. Our productivity is almost down to zero. And then we have the worst inverted yield curve. And most people don't even know what that means. Inverted yield curve, they think it's a sandwich, name of a sandwich. Inverted yield curve means you're screwed. Means you and me, we're all screwed when you have an inverted yield curve. That's all you got to know. It's the worst one we ever had. We have, on top of the inverted yield curve, we have historic debt, historic deficits, earnings, corporate earnings. Think about corporate earnings. The biggest 2-year drop ever in corporate earnings. 2 years. The biggest drop ever in 2 years. It's horrible. Economic growth, our economy dropped from 6.5% under Trump to now 2.4%. We had the largest drop in market value, stock market value. We dropped by $675 billion. Construction spending on a huge decline. So when you hear this nonsense, how the economy is strong, when we have an economic growth of less than 3%,
So we actually have a very strong economy that we think will support the.
what an idiot. She's an idiot. But the clock always comes back to 12. You know, over the weekend I was looking, and if you take a look at 2008, the crash, 2007, 2008, right there, do you know what started that crash? The same thing that's starting this crash. Yields. You know the yields, the 10-year Treasury yield that caused that crash? We have that same yield today, both the same in the 10-year and the same 3-month yield. Those yields, the 10-year Treasury yield, the 3-month Treasury yield, back in 2008, that started the crash, and what really started the crash was oil going up to 100. We're already now, our oil price right now, what, 80, 87, something like that, 83, $82. We're going to hit 100. So the same thing that caused this huge crash that wiped out $8 trillion in stock equity. We have those same exact problems right now. And she's sitting there telling us how great the economy is. This is crazy. I mean, they just lie. You know, and I was reading some of the stuff. I was going back looking up what the rates were. And I found them, and I said, wow, I can't believe this. They're exactly right. We're setting up right now exactly what's set up. It took us down in 2008. It's ready to take us down again. And all I keep hearing on the radio, I have the TV in the back. I'm listening. I get so sick of hearing this. Where is it? The one that they keep saying, oh, let me find it here. That how Trump, always, he's the one that chose Weiss.
Well, for a long time, Lester, Merrick Garland had tried to communicate publicly that David Weiss had full authority in all matters to pursue this. And the administration has certainly wanted to point out he was a Trump appointee to that role as the U.S. attorney.
People have to remember when they
say that all the time. And it's not true. Let me explain how it works. So, and again, I know it has nothing to do with stocks, but I was sitting here doing some research for my show, and I keep hearing this in the back. I'm so sick of hearing this. Somebody should tell the truth. Tired of hearing this. He didn't appoint them. David Weiss, he got that position as U.S. Attorney of the District of Delaware because how it works is whatever political party controls the state, in this case, Democrats, then they will pick the two Democrat senators from a Democratic state. They pick the U.S. attorney. They're the one that picks him. And the president just rubber stamps it. It's been that way for years. It's a standing relationship between the Republicans and Democrats, been that way for 100 years. So it's a bunch of nonsense. They make it sound like Trump was up all night trying to figure out who he's going to appoint. What are you, nuts?
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. When making wise investment decisions, Phil Grandy has some sound reasons you should join Phil's Gang.
You know, when I started this, they asked me, okay, can you explain to people why they should join the gang? Gee, I thought about that. And I guess to make money. but more than that, to get good direction on which way the economy's really going. We get so much crap, so many lies, how great the economy is and how great the tech business is, and when it's not. The problem is we have too many people in Washington and in this industry that just don't tell the truth. The truth is everything. And here at Phil's Gang, we stick with the facts. We tell the truth. We make sure our members, are getting the best information, and our listeners, like you. We make that information available to you and make it simple and understandable.
Good investing means understanding how the stock market works. Join today at philsgang.com. When you listen to the advice of Phil Grandy at philsgang.com, you'll find investing in the stock market makes sense with the right guidance.
People keep saying to me, boy, things are hard, things are tough. Boy, the market's really screwed up. And I don't agree with them. For us here at Phil's Gang, we make it so it's simple. It doesn't matter if the market's bad or good. We consistently do well because we make it simple. And just like for my listeners on the radio or on the internet or my podcast, we make it simple. We try to break it down so you really understand why the market is going up or why there's continued inflation or why the bank rates are going up. So you understand, especially yields. The most important thing to understand how yields work. Just what we do. We work hard at it.
Trusted advice, easy to understand strategies that will make you a better investor. Get all the details at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. I've been doing this business of trading over 55 years. God, they make it so complicated. It doesn't have to be. The best way to learn is to follow me, my actual investments. That's right. When I buy a stock, you follow me. Do exactly what I do. That's the best way to learn.
Check out the free 10-day trial. Learn more at philsgang.com.
Be my co-pilot at philsgang.com. Do what I do.
That's philsgang.com. With the philsgang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At philsgang.com, we recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG. Why are investors listening to Phil Grandy of philsgang.com?
You know why people listen to my show? Because I make it simple. When you talk about the stock market, they make it so complicated. I make it easy to understand. For the average investor, the Main Street investor, most of the time, these guys, like they're talking to each other. We talk directly to you and we listen to you.
Invest better with the sound advice of Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. Phil Grandy has successfully taught tens of thousands of investors how to navigate the market with confidence.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. That's right, philsgang.com. Join my gang for 10 days. It's free. If anything, during that 10-day period, you're going to learn how the market really works. You're going to find information that you never had before. You're going to walk away and go, I didn't know that. So join my gang for 10 days free, philsgang.com, and you're also going to learn how to make money when the market goes down. It's kind of silly just sitting there when the market going down, hoping. Why hope when you can sell short and make money? Either way, you make money when the market goes up, you make money when the market goes down. That's the benefit of Phil's Gang. You make money.
Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, advice, and software that will take your investing to the next level.
philsgang.com. Sign up free for 10 days.
Welcome back to to the Phil's Gang Radio Show. Want to know more about Phil's Gang? Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
You know, don't you hate it when they lie to you? And do you really believe that Wall Street is not going to lie to us? The BLS is not going to lie to us? They lie to us all the time. But again, I don't want to hear, again, how Trump selected Weiss. He didn't select Weiss. Tom Capper and Chris Kuhn selected Weiss. And there's been a long-standing tradition. Whatever party controls the state, like in this case, the Democrats choose the senators of the Democratic Party in that state. They pick who's going to be the attorney. That's right, they pick it. And then it's automatically approved by whatever, if it's an opposition president like Trump, he has no choice. Because if he's, no, I don't want them, then here's how it works. They can bring back somebody else, and then when he keeps on saying, no, we're not gonna pass, I'm not gonna pass any of them, they just have a vote. This is all rubber stamp. But they keep saying it over and over, how he picked them. I know it's a small thing, it drives me nuts, it burns my hair. I mean, it just drives me nuts. Let me move on, because I'll talk about this all day and I'll lose my audience. It just drives me nuts, this guy Weiss. But you know what the other thing is people don't realize is, and I'm going to get off this politics soon, I'm going to talk about stocks, but you got to understand something else going on. So you see how they took care of this guy Weiss, right? And then Weiss, what's he do? So he's in there, he's been protecting Hunter for 5 years. And now they made him the new prosecutor, right? Special prosecutor, to protect him, to let the clock run out. Now, Biden didn't come up with that idea. That's exactly what Obama did. This is nothing new. Think of this, what they did. So Biden took a page out of Obama's playbook. Goldman Sachs. When the market crashed, remember Goldman Sachs, these guys, and JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, but used Goldman Sachs because they're the ringleader. They were bundling this garbage, the subprime loans, and then they got a rating agency to lie and say they're AAA when they're garbage. They're triple D, garbage. But they lied and put a false stamp on their AAA, and then Goldman Sachs would take that and they'd sell it. They'd sell all those bundled subprime loans to pension funds, to retirees. Well, they got in trouble, big trouble, because it was fraud what they're doing. Now, Obama, remember, he got in, who was he funded by? Goldman Sachs. Now, there was other banks, but it was Goldman Sachs. They were the big bundler. They put all the money on Wall Street. So what does Biden do? What does Obama do? Goldman Sachs in trouble. The only reason Obama got in office because of the funding from Goldman Sachs, the money bundler, and all these other big banks. But let's go with Goldman Sachs. So what does he do? So Obama takes one of his best pals, brilliant guy. He was a former White House counsel, his own White House counsel. His name was Craig. And what he did, he said, I'm going to put you in a position with Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs, you hire Craig. He was a brilliant guy. He was my White House counsel. And then and then we'll fight the SEC. Because remember, the SEC was after Goldman Sachs. So Obama intervened, brings in this Craig. Says, we got an individual guy here. He's going to do a good job for America. Bull. Same situation. And then, of course, Craig was working with the White House working with the SEC, and they got a small slap on the wrist. They got like $2.3 billion in civil penalties. That's like you getting a traffic ticket of $10. Give me a break. So again, and then this leads back to what's wrong with today, what's going on in the stock market today, which, again, I know I'll never convince you, but if you would just learn how to sell short, God, you would save your financial life. Remember, these boom to bust, they're created. It's done on purpose. When we had the first one,
The dot-com, that was created. The banks make sure, okay, or the Federal Reserve makes sure that there's real cheap money. The bank gets the money printed, shoves it to the banks, tells the banks, go out and this, like in the dot-com days, put that money out there. Anybody's working in a garage or anyone that has a dot-com name, just give them. Doesn't matter their credit, doesn't matter if they can pay it back, just get it out into the system. Get oxygen out to the system. And they created this bubble on purpose. And then when they're ready to bust the bubble, they do, because they make more money on the way down. Doesn't it seem something wrong that if we had a dot-com bubble where we went up, turned around, came right back down, then we created a housing bubble, we went up, then we came right back down, and now we're in a QE bubble where we went up and we're on our way back down. In fact, what you really got to be worried about, which nobody's telling you, as I said in the beginning of the show, is you understand what happened in the 2008 crash. The same where the 10-year Treasury is today and the 3-month Treasury is today is exactly where they were right before the crash of 2008. Oil is right where it was right before the 2008 crash. So our 3-month Treasury, our 10-year Treasury, our oil in the same position today as they were right before the crash of 2008. They create these crashes on purpose. I mean, doesn't it seem strange to you? Why would we be doing the same thing over and over? Why would we keep creating these bubbles, pop them, create them again, pop it, create it again, pop it? Because that's how they make money. That's how Wall Street makes money. The banksters on Wall Street, that's what they do. They inflate these bubbles and they make a fortune. And then when they want to pop them, they got to because at some point, when you're paying for an S&P stock at 20, do you really think someone is an intelligent person is going to pay for S&P $20 for every $1 of earnings when it's historic 15 to 17? Of course not. They pop the bubble. More when I get back.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
What, are you nuts? Coffee's up 92%, lumber's up 67%, heating oil, 60%, gasoline 55%. I understand why you guys are telling me to raise my rates here at Phil's Gang, but we haven't raised our rates since 2001. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. I'm not going to raise my rates. Our membership's been $39.95 since 2001, and for a good reason. So that you have enough room that when you do make money here at Phil's Gang, and you will, because you're going to learn how to short stocks, that there's enough room to send some money to St. Jude. That's why we never raised our price. And that's why we give you good value. So, you want to continue with good value, good information, be on the right side of the market? Join my gang, philsgang.com, where the price has not moved, where we fight inflation. philsgang.com.
When the stock market is up one day and down the next, you need experienced advice from a pro.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. I know you're sitting there watching the stock market. You're going, what? Is this nuts? Market goes up 700 points. Next day goes up 800 points. Then the market goes back down. Then it goes back up. What that is volatility.
You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently?
But you got to anticipate what's going to happen with the market. And that's what we give you. Information so you can anticipate in advance what the market's going to do, so you know what stocks to buy, you know what stocks to short. It's all about having good information and anticipation. You got to anticipate. The one thing you can't do is rely on your brokers. Listen.
Our responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
What are you, nuts? Partners and shareholders? You're not included.
Check out the free 10-day trial and follow Phil to investing success. Learn more at philsgang.com. philsgang.com.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy. Is your business prepared to respond to any emergency in the workplace? Well, you better be. Let over 30 years of law enforcement experience go to work for you. Boyd Investigative Group is here for all your business security needs. I know. I use them. They're terrific. Call today for your free confidential consultation. 941-724-4535. That's 941-724-4535. Or visit them on the website, BoydInvestigativeGroup.com.
License number A1900020.
To be a successful investor, you need to stay current with the daily changes in the economy and the stock market. Phil Grandy and philsgang.com can be your guide to becoming a better investor. Try the free 10-day trial at philsgang.com for the working investor. From the opening bell to the closing, stay informed with what's happening in real time. The Working Investor Program includes full access to the Phil's Gang website, a morning update on what to look for that day on Wall Street, a market wrap on that day's trading, plus seminars, training, and tools to help you become a better investor. Go to philsgang.com for a free 10-day trial. After that, it's just $59.95 a month for membership, daily updates, training, software, and the best investing advice every day. You can invest with the best. Phil Grandy and philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. philsgang.com. You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently? Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, advice, and software that will take your investing to the next level. Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless to navigate, and tells you exactly when to buy and sell to help maximize profits. Sign up for a 10-day free trial to see our platform in action. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. To be a successful investor, you need to stay current with the daily changes in the economy and the stock market. Phil Grandy and philsgang.com can be your guide to becoming a better investor. Try the free 10-day trial at philsgang.com for the working investor. From the opening bell to the closing, stay informed with what's happening in real time. The Working Investor Program includes full access to the Phil's Gang website, a morning update on what to look for that day on Wall Street, a market wrap on that day's trading, plus seminars, training, and tools to help you become a better investor. Go to philsgang.com for a free 10-day trial. After that, it's just $59.95 a month for membership, daily updates, training, software, and the best investing advice every day. You can invest with the best. Phil Grandy and philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. philsgang.com. Welcome back to the Phil's Gang Radio Show. Want to know more about Phil's Gang? Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
Welcome back to Phil's Gang. Remember I told you that I was working with my gang that we were going to sell short to builders, and we had to be patient. I told you this about 2 months ago. And I said they're going to be the last one to collapse. And sure enough, we started to short Lennar. When our chart, my Pro 2 color-coded chart, turned red, that gives us a signal the big institutions are pulling their money out. So the stock went down about 9% from the day it turned red to where it is today. So that's a 9% return. Now, I'm not saying every gang member made 9%, but if every gang member has my chart, when it turned red, they started to short. Let's say they even made 5% on a short. It saves your financial life when you sell short, okay? And we're doing that with other builders now. So if you want to learn how to sell short, just go to my site, philsgang.com, sign up where it says Get Started, and you'll learn how to sell short along with executing where you buy a stock. But it's going to save your life, your financial life, instead of sitting there and getting clobbered. Remember what I said. They purposely create these bubbles because, remember, you got to understand who these people are when you say they. These are the very, very wealthy. And they make that money creating the bubble. And it causes a hardship for everybody else. So go back to 2006, 2008. The guy on the street He has a little pension fund. He has a little 401k. He lost $8 trillion of stock wealth. That's about $68,000 per household. Well, everybody wealthy made a fortune because when the stock market was going down, they're shorting, just like we do. Just like we do here at Phil's Gang. Now, if you go back and look, you're going to see that the yields, which are the most important thing, the yields tell you the truth, tells you the direction of the market. It was telling everybody in 2007, 2008, the yields, just like now, were going through the roof, just like now, almost exactly. And then oil started going through the roof. But the very, very wealthy, make that happen. They create that. I mean, if you for example, if you just take, and they create all this wealth inequality, that's what they do. Few make money. In 2022, the top 1% owned a record 32% of our nation's wealth. 32%. Now, but let's take the share of wealth held by the bottom 90%. It declined by 30%. Declined. So, again, the wealthy are making the money. And the way they make money is to create these artificial bubbles. You don't think they would stop this if these weren't being manufactured? Now look at this. If you take 2008, the market was worth $11 trillion in 2008, right? 2022, it went up 252%. Went up by 40 trillion. They added 40 trillion. Who got that 40 trillion? 79% of the people didn't. Say 80. 80% of the people didn't. That's not what bubbles aren't created to help the folks, to help Main Street. It's created, a bubble is created to help the very wealthy. So there you have 2008, 11 trillion. Boom, they put the bubble in. Pop it up, get it going. By 2022, it's up 252%. That's insane. Now think about this, from 2008 to 2022, when the bubble popped. For every $100 you invested, you got a return of $436, or that's 10% a year. You'll never make that in your 401k. But the key is, when the market goes down the other side of the bubble, you sit there and you keep calling your broker, what should I do, what should I do, what should I do? All you have to do is reverse and short it. Or just take your screen, flip it upside down, and pretend you're going long. Pretend you're going long, or if you're athletic, stand on your head. Just stand on your head. Look, and then you buy, which means you're really shorting, right? Got to do something, for heaven's sakes. In the last 10 years, think about it. Or let's take the top 1%. Their wealth increased by $6.5 trillion in 2022 alone. Their total worth, $23 trillion. And they own a record 54% of individual stock shares. Bezos and Buffett, they gained in 2022 alone $6 trillion each. That's unbelievable. The total wealth of the 1% reached in 2022 a record $45.9 trillion. That's incredible. And the top 10% own 89% of corporate stock. But the problem with all this, it drives inequality. And then it drives the yields up. See, all these bubbles are created through inflation. They create it through inflation. Printing money is inflationary. When you print it, it's inflation. So you have a bubble created. And they know that. And it's like surfing. They're going to ride that wave all the way up from 2008 to 2022. They ride that wave. The very, very wealthy. And people in 401ks, they have no idea what's going on. They don't have a clue. They have not a clue. This is a bubble. This is the third bubble. This is the QE bubble. They don't have a clue. And they'll listen to these morons that keep talking, oh, great things are. Everything's great. Everything's wonderful. Everything's wonderful. So, The only way they're ever going to fix this problem is to bring the Glass-Steagall Act back again. Think about this. If you take in the Dow, let's do it this way here. If you take the NVIDIA, Apple, Microsoft, Google, and Amazon, those 5 stocks in the first half of this year drove the S&P up about 25%. If you took those 5 stocks out of the S&P, and I showed my gang members, the chart today, what would happen? You wouldn't be up 23%, you'd be up 1.5%. Can you imagine 5 stocks? Now add to those stocks 2 more stocks. The Magnificent Seven. Add 2 more stocks. I can't think of the other 2 now. But add the 2 other stocks that make up the Magnificent Seven. And that's all they're buying. The bubble was created for these stocks to go up. Can you imagine out of 500 stocks? So this is all done on purpose. So if you knew what you're doing, you'd be buying on the way up in the bubble. Now you're getting ready to buy on the way down. But what do they have you doing? Stock buybacks. Yeah, they're gonna tell you now the stock's going to start coming down. Like, oh, you bought that stock at 80. Here, give you an example. Let's take Lennar. We get all these people come in, tourists, and start buying. Give you an example. Lennar dropped from $131 down to $126, and then a tourist came in. The tourist came in. They bought at $126, and then they think they're going to get this big bargain. They bought on a dip. Then it went up to about $128, and then it dropped again. They lost money. Went back down to $121. Then tourists came in again, bought some more, buying a dip. And it went from the low of 121 up to the high again of about 128, and it dropped again. You don't buy on dips when the trend is going down. They want you to do that so you help the very, very wealthy hold up the stock market until they're out. See, we got to get the Glass-Steagall back. We need that regulation back to stop this craziness. Otherwise, we're going to have bubble after bubble. And if we don't get it back, learn how to sell short. We'll teach you.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
What, are you nuts? If the stock market can make you so rich, especially Apple and Microsoft and Google and Amazon and the rest, why are so many Americans poor? If the 401k promises you a retirement, then why is it we are in a retirement crisis? Here's the answer. Because 85% of you get out of the market too late. I fixed that with my color-coded chart, which tells you when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out. That's right, when to run like hell. Check it out. You get a free membership and the free color-coded chart for 10 days. Check it out, philsgang.com. Warning, Google, Apple, Microsoft, Netflix, Facebook, all these hot stocks are going to crash. They're going to drop as much as 60-70%. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. Exactly what happened in the dot-com days is going to repeat itself. Remember, 85% of people lose money in the stock market because they don't know when to get out. I fixed that with my color code technology chart. It tells you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. That's right. Make sure you check it out. It's free for 10 days, philsgang.com.
You can be a successful investor in the stock market by knowing what the market is going to do.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. God, you go nuts listening to these shows on TV, Kramer, any of them. I mean, they're giving you total garbage. Garbage in, garbage out. One day they tell you, buy this stock. Next day, don't buy this stock. Then you have 2 people on the show. One guy saying buy it, the other guy says don't buy it. So the question is, what the hell do you do? Well, we don't have questions here at Phil's Gang. And they never have to ask the question, what do you think the market's going to do? My members always know what the market's going to do because they've learned how to follow the money. That's right, follow the money. You don't follow fundamentals, you follow the money. And what is that? That's volume. That's the buyers and the sellers. And the other thing, you got to learn how to sell a stock as well as buy a stock.
Follow the money. Follow Phil Grandy.
Check it out, philsgang.com. Go to my podcast. YouTube, and Rumble every day. That's philsgang.com.
Want good investing advice from someone you can trust? Listen to Phil Grandy.
With what's going on today in the economy, especially in the stock market, it gets really complicated, but it doesn't have to be. My job is to make it simple, to get through the fog. And I think I do that, and I think I do a pretty good job of that, especially why you should be buying a stock, or why you should be in the market, or not in the market, or shorting.
Invest wisely with the knowledge of Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. If you want to invest your money and grow your wealth, listen to this.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. You know, I get so tired of listening to the same garbage every day, listening to the fake business news network telling you why you should buy this stock, why you should buy, and they're always wrong. Join my gang, philsgang.com, free for 10 days. You're going to learn when to buy a stock and when not to buy a stock. Hey, years ago it was different. You could buy a stock based on fundamentals. You could buy a stock based on earnings. You could buy a stock based on PE ratios. Those days are gone. That ended with QE. That ended when they financially engineered the market in 2008. Gone. Now you got to follow the money. And we have the knowledge because we have the chart. Pro 2 color code chart tells you when to buy, when to sell, when to run like hell.
For a limited time, you can join Phil's Gang free for 10 days.
Check it out, philsgang.com. Get the truth, get the knowledge, and understand how the market really works.
If you want to invest your money and grow your wealth, just listen to Phil Grandy.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. There's many reasons to listen to a radio show, but I think to listen to my show, you get the truth, you get clarity, and you get great information.
No matter what level of investor you are, Phil's Gang strategies for investing are designed to put you on the path to success.
You know what? Most of all, it's fun. philsgang.com. Clarity, good information, and fun.
Welcome back. Learn, invest, and make profits with Phil Grandy. Simply go to philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
Most of the workers in the United States are not union workers. They're going to be fired, God forbid, if there's a downturn in the economy. And that's the last thing Jay Powell wants.
You know that 79% of our workforce really don't make any money? They're scrambling. That's why credit cards are up to $1 trillion. 79% of people have to use their credit card at the end of the month to square up because they're in the hole. And wages, stop listening to this. Wages are really good, boy. We're beating inflation. Well, first of all, you're not beating the inflation on what we use, gasoline, first of all. They're telling big gasoline dropped. No, it didn't. I mean, it's still up big time. I think it's still up 61%. Still up 61%. So, as I said, wages, if you take 20 of the past 22 weeks, wages had dropped from 9.3% to 5.3%. In other words, if you take the last 22 weeks, wages have been dropping, not going up like they're telling you. Now, if you take from January 2022 to today, wages dropped from 9.3% to 5.3%. That's right. So the only thing you can believe is this. If you're an investor, and here we're looking at Apple right now, our chart has turned red. That told us on let's see what date it was, on August 10th, that institutions were pulling their money out. We started to short Apple. That was nice and safe because it turned red. It showed us. These are the charts that we designed. Okay. Goldman Sachs started to turn red. These banks were all breaking down. August 15th, we started to short. We started to short that as well. One stock we shorted was Hershey. We started to short Hershey back in June. That was around 263, and right now it's at 216. See, that's 18%. Now, I'm not saying every gang member made 18%. What I'm saying to you, we told our gang member, we follow Hershey, that's one of our stocks, And I said, look, it turned red, so you can start selling it short. And then we guide them. So some got in late, maybe some got in earlier, maybe some made 10%, some made 12, who knows? But here's what I do know. The color-coded chart and the education program we give them, how to execute a short, how to execute a buy using your color-coded chart and the yields. The yields never lie to you. The yields never lie. They always tell you the truth is which way the market's going to go. So we knew with the yields climbing, and the yields are going to continue to climb. Why? Understand this. We are going to have the biggest crash, okay? Because just like 2008, when yields keep climbing, going up, it strangles the economy. It's interest rates. It's killing people. And Biden knows what the cost of inflation is. He can blame his dog. He can blame Trump. But he knows damn well inflation comes from one place. When you sit there and spend more money than you take in tax revenue, when you spend money on all this green garbage, spend money on Ukraine, and you only have $877 billion in your checking account, and you're spending trillions and trillions. So when you keep spending more than you take in, that's inflation. That's inflation. So if someone tells me this market's not going to crash, I don't get that. How can someone say, oh, this is a strong economy? Very strong economy, they said, right? How could you have a strong economy when you got a 10-year treasury yield that went from over 12 years to average of 1.6%, now at 4.29, destroying our economy because it destroys our housing market. And when you destroy the housing market, you take the oxygen out of the housing market, and you destroy the first home buyer, which they ladder up. You destroyed your country. The 3-month Treasury was 0.1%. Now it's 5.4%. Just think about that. And someone's telling you everything's okay? No. But you should always be in a position you don't have to worry if everything's okay. We don't worry if everything's okay or not okay. Because just like when we shorted Hershey, when we shorted Apple, when we shorted McDonald's. We started to short McDonald's back in August 8th. It was somewhere around that time, around, 286, something like that. And today it's at, what is it today? 280. But we're shorting it. See, once you have that freedom of shorting, you don't care what the fundamentals are. Who cares about trailing PE ratios, forward PE ratios, or margins, or free cash flow, or who cares about any of that? You're free of all that. All you know is when you take your 5 or 6 stocks, your favorite stocks that you use all year long, it's all you need, 5 or 6. You don't need more than that. The reason everybody has so many stocks and they got the new flavor of the day because they want you to keep moving from stock to stock so they can make money. There's no reason to have more than 6 stocks. I mean, look at this. Our 6 stocks are perfect stocks. Perfect. We have J.P. Morgan, Apple, a gold stock, AU. And by the way, gold is going to go through the roof because here's what they're going to do. Trust me when I tell you this. Powell is going to get a phone call. Cut rates. I'm in an election year. Cut those rates. He's going to say, yes, okay, sir. Yes, sir. I'll cut them. And when he cuts those rates, guess what? The yield's going to go down. The dollar follows the yield, and you're going to see gold go through the roof. Good example. We've been shorting AU. That's gold. Anglo Gold. My members have been shorting that from anywhere from going back to June. Some have been shorting it since July 21st. So let's go back to June. June, Anglo Gold was around $25. Today it's at $16. $16 today. That's a 36% drop. So some of my gang members may have made 10%, some made 5%, maybe somebody made 20%. Maybe somebody made 18. It's up to them. Here's what they know. When you come to when you get educated
properly how to invest in a stock, whether you're going to make money shorting it or buying it, one thing you're going to know is that when a stock moves and it's on its way down and it's a trending stock down, you keep following it. Just keep following. When it snaps back, it's going to go right back down. Every time it snaps back, it's going to go right back down. These are the things you learn. But the one thing you're also going to learn, that 10-year Treasury is everything. We are now at 4.29 in a 10-year, and the 3-month are 5.44, up from 0.1% of 1%. Nobody can survive that. And that's exactly where we were just before the crash of 2008. And oil is right where we were just before the 2008 crash. Look, nobody in Wall Street cares about you. Nobody in Washington cares about you. You got a way out. The stock market is a wonderful place if you do both sides of the transaction. But they've taught you not to do that. They taught you just only buy. And these 401ks is a joke. These 401ks are a joke. You lost in 2022 22%. You should have been making 22% shorting. That's a joke. Who would sit there and just keep watching their 401k keep going down, down, down? And you go, what do I do? What do I do? And you're a broker, good guys, good people. They're going to hold your hand. That's what they're taught. Hold your hand. Just hold your hand. Baby talk to them. Hold their hand. And then try to convince them if the stock they bought at 80 is now 60 to buy more of it. It's a good deal. And then when it drops from 80 to 60 to 30, tell them it's even a better deal. It's even and you had a hard time getting them that extra stock. Boy, I had a hard time getting you that. You know the stock you bought, George, for 80? It's now at 20? Oh, my God, I have a tough time. But I got you 500 shares. Oh, God, thank you. Thank you. Amazing. Look, go to my site, philsgang.com. Sign up free for 10 days. And also listen to me on our Instagram, Facebook, Rumble, Apple, and YouTube. See you on the chart.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grandy, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600.